Hey, Nathan here, helping you become a better jungler. Today we have a review request from a player over on the EUNE server, Diamond 4, and this is a Hecarim game of his. Let's quickly take a look at his OPGG here. So, last season finished Gold 4, 57 LP, is now Diamond 4 with some pretty good win rates. I am going to initial reaction here as this is potentially a Smurf account. Didn't even play many games last season. Pretty unlikely that he's gone from barely playing the game to Diamond 4 in a season. So I would say that this is definitely a Smurf account. Very good win rates. Obviously, you know, he's probably playing a lot higher level than his current skill when he was climbing the ranks here. But I love the amount of games in the preseason here. This is awesome. We have, you know what, a good 150 games already in like 3 weeks or so. So, I mean, obviously, you know, it's really important to have quality games, not just spamming, but obviously it looks like you're in the spamming mindset, because, you know, it's just so fun to climb. You know, when you're smurfing, it's like, yeah, I can play as much as I want because I'm just dominating everyone. My question to you is, would you have the same amount of games if you were just at Diamond 4, you know, playing it looks like your skill level potentially is Diamond 4. I mean, recently it looks like you're actually climbing pretty well. Okay, yep, playing some Graves. I mean, maybe we could be potentially pushing a lot higher as well, so I think we should keep it up. So yeah, finishing off here, finished Gold 4 last season, probably a Smurf account. Love the amount of games and love the Champion Master on Hecarim. I mean, you've got a lot of games played on Hecarim as well, so we're getting to really looking to start push our limits, and I'm going to expect some pretty clean baseline mechanical stuff from your Hecarim from this review. And I'll say inflated win rates because this account was obviously a Smurf account. I mean, he's climbed from Gold 4 to Diamond 4 in the preseason alone. So again, you're going to be able to do that if you're already a Diamond level player. Okay, so here's the request. Describe why he felt like he won or lost this game. Won the game because Janna roamed level 3. Specific moments of the game wants me to focus on. I don't know what I should do mid-game where everyone is pushing side high / being basically trying to say ARAM here, and I have a full clear up. It's always awkward because my players die, then ping me farming. I know that I should clear enemy jungle and ghost them, but there is a moment when I really need to reset my camps and I don't leave to push. Okay, so yeah, this is very situational. It's almost impossible for me to give you an answer specifically. It's like you sort of need some sort of like gut intuition. It's like, where's the enemy team? Okay, if one of my landers is pushed up and the enemy has nothing else and everyone's missing on the map, they're probably going to go to that guy. So you have two options. Three options. You ping him off, you come to help him, or you just let him die. So it's going to be really situational. I mean, the lower elo you go, sometimes you just have to group a lot more because people are going to start dying. People don't listen to pings, and people go for plays. But as long as you're strong enough and you're making good decisions, I wouldn't worry too much about this. This isn't really going to be a factor too much until, I wouldn't say you're losing games because of this. This is more of a thing where you need to sort of focus on the high elo, master tier. But then in that tier, people sort of listen to pings and understand getting caught a little bit more. It still happens, but I wouldn't really worry about this. Again, I doubt that this is a game you won, but I doubt this is a reason why you're really struggling. But it's a good question nonetheless, and we can explore it in this VOD. Which lane did identify as win condition in the early game? Top mid, because enemy bot was Ezreal and Nidalee. I couldn't do much on bot before level 6 because they both have escape tools. Alright, so basically top and mid and enemy bot. So let's jump into the comps here and actually check out the win condition. So as we can see, here's the Hecarim here. We have a Riven into Ornn. He's against Graves. Into a Katarina with Echo mid. And as he said, the Ezreal Nidalee bot with a Janna Jhin. So definitely agree. There's not many tools, especially in the early game, to pressure bot. And this is actually a tricky one. A lot of this actually is potentially hard to gank. You can kill Katarina. I mean, if she's committing, but she does have that jump at the end of the day. She's relatively safe. You're also against a Ornn tank top with a Riven. So I would say really here I definitely want you to be the win condition in this game. You need to get as strong as possible and don't die. it's going to be really important if you to not get behind against Graves. We need to be very careful as Graves, as Hecarim. I find Graves is a very difficult matchup for Hecarim in the early game. My next objective here was to really make sure Riven doesn't die early. Ornn can just become very tanky and potentially unkillable, and then would render Riven useless. I really like to make sure Rivens, even like Jasons and stuff like that, like it's a factor. Sometimes I might just concede them and make them go 0-10, but this game, because there's nothing for you to do bot, your really objective is to protect the Riven. And yeah, so there's really no obvious lanes that it's like, this is just a clear 100% win condition. It's more the opposite. I'm making sure Riven, I don't really care if Riven goes even. He just doesn't need to go get behind. I don't care if I'm killing Ornn. Again, just trying to be as efficient possible. So given that, my recommended path here is going to be blue, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, red. Reason being, again, because we want to be away from bot, because this is the path that will be here. We're on the purple side. Bot lane is just going to chill whatever, but also Graves is I'm almost certain is going to start red buff. I have like a 90% inclination here. So what I want to do is make sure that Graves isn't coming up here and just getting a free kill on Riven. So I want to make sure that you're up there, and it's probably going to get pretty messy. I'm happy for it to get pretty messy on this top crab. You'll need to assess whether you need to concede it or not, but I need you to have that option to help Riven again. So that's why I would path towards top side. So the runes you go here are these runes. Perfect. Love these runes. I think they're the best runes for Hecarim. Conqueror, I really like a lot more than Phase Rush. And looking at the comps here as well, I mean, Phase Rush is going to be good against these three champs in a way, but I really want some sort of skirmishing power for Conqueror. But, I mean, it's still good against these champs. Conqueror just synergizes so well with Hecarim. Just how quickly you can get those stacks up between your E, auto attacks, and Qs. Alright, so let's now jump into the VOD review and see what we can improve on. Alright, so starting the game here. Looks like he's opted for the red smite. Yep, I think that's fine. I mean, I really want to potentially be skirmishing with Graves as well. It's going to be pretty important in this game. I mean, I think the jungle matchup really is going to dictate this game. Really important, again, for you not to be getting behind. So I think red smite's fine. It's good against Ornn as well. Alright, so it looks like we're starting blue. Great, I agree with this start. I don't know if you had the same reasoning for me, but this is good. This is really good stuff. Alright, so now next step, we need to be thinking about where the enemy jungler starts. Make sure we're paying attention to lanes. Very good clearing there. You using your, holding your Q to just finish off. Very efficient usage of abilities here. Q and then auto attacking the Gromp. Alright, so we see bot lane come pretty late, and we see Ornn, where's Ornn? He's actually in the bush. He just pops out of the bush. And then now we know it's a red start for Graves. Excellent work. So you ping that out. Maybe a little bit more pings I like. Maybe like an extra 1 or 2. I think that's good. Alright, I love the map awareness as we're clearing these camps. Kite into the next camp. Okay, maybe could have like weaved in an auto attack there. I think might have been slightly more efficient. That's alright. Hold out 2 stacks. Okay, very nice. Okay, sorry, no, that's actually... Again, don't know if that's intentional, but this is actually exactly how you want to do with Hecarim. For some reason, I forgot I was reviewing Hecarim. So, finish off a Q here actually helps you keep your stacks up. And it looks like you're putting 2 points in Q. Okay, so you're going for the very, very fast, efficient path in for Hecarim. Alright, so this is very nice. Okay, there is part of this right now. It's pretty greedy to do, like, because obviously the way you do this is you're going for a 6 camp. And Hecarim, you can do this, you can get away with this, but remember, I really want to be top ASAP, and look at what, yeah, I actually haven't seen many pings top for this Riven. He's like 40% health right now. I am really terrified for Graves potentially being up here for maybe some, he could have even potentially do a 3 camp. I mean, we don't know that for sure, because you know another option for Graves here as well, and this is why I don't really like 2 points Q, is that he could pretty easily invade you on your red as well. Graves definitely has that strength. So, not having E makes you pretty useless if you're getting invaded on. So that's why I don't really like doing like this. You know, it's super fast, super speedy, like you'll clear your jungle, you know, before 3:15. But, again, sometimes a bit greedy. You can get punished for this. So we'll see what happens here. But again, I love the keeping up the 2 stacks this entire clear. Very efficient. Alright, I like the pings. This is good. You're telling Riven, you know, that he's there, but Riven probably can't do much about it. The wave's actually in the middle of the lane right now. Okay, we're looking top quickly, pan in there. And it looks like you're holding smart for the crab. I like that a lot as well. This is going to get messy. Which is fine. This is what we wanted. This is what I planned for. So we're going to have to depend on a lot of things. So Jana's actually roaming here. Okay, this is why you said you won the game. This is very, very well played from Jana. This is actually exceptional support play. I'm actually really surprised I'm seeing this in Diamond 4. And Graves is now going on this here. Excellent. Okay, yeah, that's big. I don't know if you're going to win the game from that. That's a pretty big statement, but that's very big. So you get this crab here. Nidalee's level 2. She's probably not going to be doing much here, so we can go on this, definitely. I'm not really afraid of much. This is great. Go on Graves. You know he has no flash. Clean. Clean, clean, clean. I love the movement. Your movement for Hecarim here, just understand to walk in front of him. Auto attack, walk in front. Auto attack, walk in front. Finish off with a Q. And we're going for the double crab here. All right, so the first question you need to ask right here, where's Graves going to go at a base? So usually they would go to, like, you know, whatever potential crabs up or where their camps are respawning again. I would say he's probably going to go back to bot side. You know, obviously you're going to take this crab here, but, you know, his raptors and are going to be spawning up soon. These camps are off the map because he believed did we actually tab? What do we know he's done? He's level 3. Okay, this might actually be an issue here. Not tabbing. Okay, he's tabbing here 20 CS. Okay, so you did ping the flash there as well. I'm not sure if you checked the CS, but he has 20 CS. He's level 3. Doesn't have a crab. So this tells us he's probably done this jungle path here. So we 100% know that these camps are going to be off the map, which means that, again, he's probably going to be going bot side to get his krugs and stuff after you kill him there. But always ask that question. As soon as enemy jungler dies, you kill him like that, where they're going to go at a base. So you double crab here. Okay, looks like you actually go for this bot wave to soak it up. Jin's mid. Okay, this is going to be very good for you. Soak up a lot of experience and gold here. Go to our Gromp. Go to our Wolves. Okay, we're just doing another very efficient clear. So we need to think about here, what are you pathing here? I mean, as we can see, look at how far ahead in CS he is right now. He's level 6 to a level 4 Grave. So you've definitely done the job of not dying and getting yourself very far ahead right here. So we have two options here. The way what you could have done there is Gromp Wolves, reset, and then go topside. Or you could be doing potentially a full clear reset bot for Dragon or looking to pressure Graves on his second red buff. I would say I would want to do here. I think what you're doing here is great. Wolves, Raptors, Krugs, reset bot, get some control here. I'm just going to be killing Graves. I'm level 6. He's going to be like level 5 max. This is my, basically what I'm thinking now is this next red buff is mine. And I'm going to take this Mountain Drag as well, which is going to be really good. Top hasn't really lost. I'm not really afraid of like Graves really pressuring top at this point. I just know I'm going to be able to carry this game by taking this Dragon, taking his second red buff, hopefully fighting Graves on there. Alright, so Jana's doing another roam. She's pinging this. Remember, his blue's not up. We know that. Okay, I really don't like this. You do have ults. Oh, we're never going to get the kill here. Good tank into the tower. That's good mechanics. So you get the kill. Okay, so why don't I like this? This is essentially, in a way, a sort of inefficient use of your ults. So like, I can't say like it's bad. Like, it's a kill's a kill. You got some gold off it. Cool. I mean, you almost didn't get the kill off it, but you're sitting there, on the map with like, you had 1900 gold in your inventory. My mindset right now is you don't have ult right now for, almost 3 minutes. It's big. It's really big because now you can't fight, but you're much weaker on the red buff potentially in the Dragon. So like, I would actually call this a bit of a play that actually slows down the game a little bit for you because you can't really accelerate It's sort of a low impact kill because it's not like you're getting any objectives off the kill. In a way, it's sort of a wasted usage of your ultimate. So definitely think that this is the wrong move. Because again, I would want it to be looking to kill, bot, and pressure this. I want to save my ult for this because Hecarim without ult, the rule is that he's significantly weaker. The champion's really based on his ult. So you reset, you go bot, you obviously skip your Krugs here because you're going straight for Dragon. Alright, so we don't have ult here, so again, there's not much we can really do. Just back off. Riven's actually level 6 here. Okay, so this was, again, just an example of how useless your champion is without ult. This is really just an unnecessary fight. You've got a pretty big numbers disadvantage here, don't you? I don't see how you're going to be able to kill everyone here. And Ornn was actually missing there as well. That's an extra information to track. Whether Ornn was there or not, you're going to die there. So this is really useless typing. I don't like to see this in chat at all. It's very, you're not going to tell people how to play the game, okay? This is just, like, people won't listen to you. It's very complaining sort of mindset. Right now, you're not thinking about what's the next move. Right now, you're just complaining about your teammates, like what's going on. That's your fault. Why are you fighting here? Your blue's coming up. You know, the second red buff up. So that's, again, that's sort of showing, it's actually that ult really had huge significant impact. You can't now invade the red. You should have had Dragon and had all this by now. If you just did Krugs and reset and go bot, you wouldn't have had to take that pointless fight. Obviously, you know, before the invade, you would have to wait for lane priority. But, again, this typing is very useless. This typing is very what I come and see between Diamond players. I mean, this is common in high elos, but as we can see here, like, what's going on? You know, you're running into a 2v4 fight. And this is just, it basically is not helpful to win the game, you know, with talking this way. I only type in chat. My rule is only type in chat if it's useful to win the game. Alright, love the efficiency in clearing these camps. This is really good stuff. I mean, you clearly have a good, pretty understanding of efficient pathing, but it looks like we're getting put off track a little bit. So, I mean, we've lost a lot of tempo of our camps right now. So, you're pathing efficiently at the moment. Okay, so we find the mid-fight here. What happens here? We waste our ultimate. And obviously ulting a cat is very difficult unless she's fully committed. So we don't want to be wasting ult like that. I'd say technically this game you've wasted 2 ults that have not helped you win the game at all. And we don't want to be calling our teammates dogs. That's not useful to win the game at all. Alright, so we're doing red here. Okay, what happens here? We find Katarina playing pretty aggressive. You actually lose that mountain drag again. There's no reason you should have lost that given how far ahead you were. Again, sort of showing the consequences of your pathing. Of that decision to go for that ult mid. You lost a lot of tempo for that. So Graves is obviously bot, so you're now looking to trade stuff top. Okay, no, oh, they actually just solo Dragon there. Okay, do we actually see where Graves moved after... Okay, Graves actually moved topside, so we know he's here. Okay. Wow, so the enemy bot lane just solo Dragon straight up. That's really annoying. Alright, so we come up here, we find Graves. Ajana's here to back us up. Holding our E, holding our E. Okay, I like this holding E. This is really good because you're potentially saving it for the fight, and great kiting of the crab. Oh, I think Ornn actually stole that crab. But I love the mindset of holding your E there. That's really good because now you have it for the fight. Looks like we're going to get a pick on Ornn here with a pretty good numbers advantage. And you're just keeping up the pressure. I mean, you're so far ahead of Graves. I said that Graves is good into Hecarim, but not when you're 2 levels ahead, obviously. So we definitely have a lot of gold in inventory right now. Nice cancel by Jana there. And he just runs into you. I quickly just want to point out this. You do waste a Q here. Obviously, she flashes it, but there's an aspect, there's a mechanical thing with Hecarim that I like to do. Sometimes I like to wait, especially against champs that can run away from me. I mean, obviously, Cat flash, like you're not going to be able to account for a flash, and she can't really jump on anything right now. Sometimes you want to wait it like half a second, like to just be like, okay, where's their movement? Are they going to run away? Because sometimes you don't want to waste your Qs. Again, it's not really necessary in this situation because it's hard to predict she's just going to flash. But again, it's a little tiny mechanical thing I like. Sometimes hitting every Q is so important as Hecarim. You never want to miss a Q. Alright, so you take his camps and reset on 2200 gold. I like that a lot. Don't worry about Rift Herald. You lose too much tempo off Rift Herald. This is good. Love that base. That's a really good base. A lot of players I'll see potentially go for that Rift Herald. But you actually get a really good buy. Come back on the map, get continued tempo. Again, 74 CS at 10 minutes is really good. We can get that Rift Herald later. We've still got 3.5 minutes for plates. We're all good. Alright, so you're running straight bot here. You see a potential kill on Ezreal. Oh, we might E too early there. Yeah, so then we're sort of forced to ult. Yeah, I mean, that's just... We don't want to be using it. It looks like you're a little bit scared. You sort of react to this Nidalee. You're like, oh, Nidalee's here. I got to E. But it's like, just walk up to this Ezreal, ignore Nidalee, kill this guy. We're all good. There's also an aspect here you always need to ask yourself the question, if I show bot here, what could I lose top side? And the answer is potentially Rift Herald. Graves is actually bot now, so that's not going to be the case. So you do Gromp, do Wolves, take Raptors. Krugs coming up top here. Good usage of E to knock him. So not to knock him, but you see here, this is a really good another mechanical Hecarim thing. You run into them and Q them. Use your Q whilst in E. Because E only cancels when you auto attack. So this is really good mechanical stuff for Hecarim. So yeah, again, this is the champion master. You've played so many games of Hecarim, and I love the weaving, the auto attacks, and the Qs. Really efficient damage. Okay, we take this again. Even if Graves is here, it's fine. You are sitting on 1600 goals. You're in the base range. Potentially want you to base pretty soon. You just take this Rift Herald here, your full priority top, and you reset and you go straight bot for Dragon, pinging it for your team. Excellent. You go on the Triforce Ravenous Hunter build. That's fine. So Ravenous Hydra. It's a very popular build for Hecarim. I'm liking the Divine Sundra, but I'll talk more about Hecarim builds in future content for Season 11. Alright, I love the holding E as well in this camp. Okay, this is so important, guys. Again, just showing what he's doing well here. There's a lot of people around here. Ornn's coming mid. There's potentially a fight coming up. You could easily be like, okay, Nathan, I've got to use my E on this crab to get it faster, to break the shield. What happens if he used his E right now? It's on about a 12-second cooldown. He can't react like this right now. And then this play would be completely different. So really important. Again, holding your E is really important as well. You can tell a good Hecarim by the way they use their ult and their E, those two abilities. Obviously our ults were pretty poor there, but that was actually a pretty good ult in that specific situation. You just back off. I love the decisiveness to back off there. Riven decides to continue going in, but that's fine. That's all good. We just take Dragon here. Oh, we kill Ned real quick. Ned tries to turn on the Janna. Take Dragon, all our jungle camps are up right now. Definitely thinking about clearing these ASAP and the enemy team just come off reset. Alright, so let's just quickly assess right now. I can already tell what's going to happen here. I mean, you've already committed. As soon as you're in with your E and no ult, you're pretty in a sticky situation. As Hecarim, our Riven's in base, our Jin's in base. The enemy team just got off a reset. You need to take account for their home guards. When they die, Echo's mid. We've got the Dragon, all our jungle camps are up. There's nothing more important to do right now than to do our camps and reset. I don't want any fights to be happening. Remember, you don't have ult. There's no reason to fight. So, Janna's come here. You know, obviously you overcommit for this Ornn, and you do kill him. but obviously you die here. So we could definitely see that coming. You give a huge shutdown, and you're pinging the Janna R, but that point there is, again, that's what we all knew. It's not about Janna's R. You shouldn't be taking that fight at all. You got the dragon, you back out straight away. Not accounting for home guards is really, it's one of the Soul 2 sins. So that loses a lot of tempo, and you do not make another Soul 2 sin here, dying with all your jungle camps up. Again, slowing down the game here. I mean, you could potentially throw in the game here. Right, looks like you didn't. But definitely could have very easily done that. You know, it's really important. So these deaths have been very unnecessary. Very unnecessary. If you just follow basic fundamental League of Legends stuff, numbers advantage, thinking about where the enemy team is. Again, nothing fancy. There's nothing fancy that goes into being a very good League of Legends player. It's all about consistency, discipline, focus, map awareness. Alright, so you're ditching all your camps to actually pressure bot here. You are using Rift Herald bot. It doesn't really... I would have potentially... My initial reaction is to use it mid to break the tower. But this is still fine. You're still pressuring the map here, which is good. So I'm okay with this. We can maybe use this pressure to magnetize people towards us and maybe look to get mid. Mid is pretty low, so I guess that's pretty efficient to use a bot there. The mid tower, you must be looking to break, especially at this time of the game. Really important objective. Okay, so a bit of a miss ult there, but we still finish him off. Comes up Jin. Again, not necessary. You've got a numbers advantage here. Riven's pushing top. I know it's a 4v4. You're pretty strong, but you don't have ultimate, remember? So... I know you don't have ult. I don't care how far ahead you are. Be very cautious. Okay, Echo's coming in now. Good mechanics in this fight. Going in and out, in and out. Oh, I mean, this is definitely a very risky fight that doesn't potentially need to be taken. Oh, 11 HP. Yeah. So you're just going for the mechanics max there. You're trying to go for the big play. Again, not really necessary. I need you to take that in consideration for these fights, no matter how far ahead you are. You have 2,700 gold in your inventory as well. It works out, but, you know, again, just want to emphasize that it's not that necessary to win the game. Alright, we kill Graves there. Cool, cool, cool. Do Crab, Gromp, Wolves, reset. Come straight top, get red buff. So I think this is the ARAM that you're talking about right now. I mean, if they're walking up this far, I don't see any reason why you just can't kill them. You have ult up, you have my permission to kill people as Hecarim. Very easily. You're very far ahead. Just make sure you're waiting for your team. But if I was to say right now they weren't this pushed up, what you would want to be doing is just getting control for the next objective. And that's going to be either Rift Herald or Dragon. Given that, you know, this second Rift Herald I don't really care too much about, I definitely want to get this Dragon. This will actually be our second Dragon, I think. So let's get that, make sure the enemy team's not getting free dragons. So I'll be pushing these lanes and getting control of the jungle, enemy jungle, looking for picks and looking for dragon, because they're going to be pretty stressed out about losing a dragon maybe. Or the smarter thing for them to do is probably just trade Rift Herald for it. And you can maybe prevent that as well, but that's what I'll be thinking in terms of macro play right now. So we get an ult to finish off the Ornn. Kill everyone there. Again, if they're going to walk up that far, we're 17 and 2 now, and they just surrender. Alright, so let's wrap it up now with some key takeaways from that game. Alright, so revisiting the request he sent, describing why he thought he won the game. He thought it was just because of the Janna roam level 3. That was very good, but I wanted you to credit yourself a bit more. I think the blue start was really, really well played. I mean, that would have never been possible if you didn't start blue. Again, the idea was more the matching the Graves, and understanding bot was pretty pointless, and understanding Riven, I can't let him get behind. I can't let Graves gank him too easily. And the other thing here is, I think your mechanics are pretty good on Hecarim. The tiny details, the way you use your Q, your E. So I think that's really important for Hecarim, and your efficient pathing. I think that's why you won this game as well. That was really nice. Specific moments of the game, there was actually a good example this game of that happening. This mid thing was sort of like, yeah, just who cares about sidelines? Just go kill them if they're overextended that far mid. And again, identify win condition here. Again, I probably, in this little description, I probably would want you to say you're more of the win condition. And as you see, you executed really well there. I mean, you're just popping off in fights. So here's the final match history of the game here. As we can see, he actually got a perfect 10 OPG score. Again, there's two deaths we needed a lot of work on still. Again, you broke some Soul 2 Sins there, we'll get onto that. But as you can see, you definitely hard carried this game, which is really, really good. So these are Soul 2 Sins that you broke this game. Going for a low impact kill that ruins your tempo and slows down the game. That was that first one there on the cat. Again, we had so many more opportunities to use that ult, and you used it mid, and we just had to base after that. It was definitely not necessary at all. Number 16 was dying when all your jungle camps were alive. That was the first dragon. These two are sort of both. I mean, you died because you didn't account for home guards time enough to get a kill. But also understanding that fight's just not necessary at all. But we definitely lost a lot of tempo for that as well. And I'm just going to throw in here, sitting on the map with around 1,500 gold inventory, taking a risky fight or going for objective. Again, sort of tied back to here. But you were on the map for a long extended periods of time. Some of it was okay, but always take this into consideration. You got a lot of gold inventory. That's a huge gold lead for your team. That's not actually, it's all wasted. Gold's useless in your inventory. You want to be utilizing it, spending it on those items. Your items equals your stronger champion. So these are the final takeaways. Love the ping where Graves started. Maybe a little bit more pings. I like the map awareness in the early game. I'd say it dropped off a little bit in the mid game, but it was pretty good. 2Q start can be greedy as heck. Just be aware of this. You got away with that game. It actually looked like it paid off really well for you, but you can get invaded and you can't really fight that well because you don't have your E. And I like to think of Hecarim as more as a 5 camp jungler. Pretty good understanding of efficient pathing. You knew clean pathing, what it looked like. Pretty simple here in terms of ult usage. Needs a bit of work here. Can't ult cat when she hasn't properly committed. She can just jump away from you. Overall good movement in skirmishes, walking forward while queuing before auto-attacking. This is a basic fundamental for Hecarim. I want you to take note here, it wasn't really relevant at that time when you're in the top jungle, when you missed that Q on Cat because she flashed. But just take it into consideration, especially against champs that can get away from you, like Fizz, Graves especially. Just wait a little bit for them to use their abilities and then walk up to them and Q. You don't want to miss Qs. It can be the difference between winning skirmishes and not, and stacking up your Conqueror really quickly. Using E too early and wasting ult. Because you use too early, you're forced to use ult and that Ezreal play bot. Good use of Q while E charging up. Again, that was that top thing for Ornn. Good, again, mechanic fundamental of Hecarim. Very good holding E when the crab, when you're doing that crab ready for the fight at 1340. Taking unnecessary fights went ahead, not thinking about the enemy team respawn. Again, that was a Soul 2 Sins. That was a key moment of the game where you really, you know, potentially you lost 700 gold, but also that unnecessary fight mid when you weren't even counting numbers advantage at all. I wouldn't even say that's a team fight. I probably should have chucked that into the Sins, just not, it's a basic numbers disadvantage. You don't want to be fighting, but the more rule you break there was a Hecarim rule. It's like we're fighting without our ult. That's potentially something we need to put in here. Ult usage needs work, but also you're fighting without your ult a little bit too much. And definitely like the efficient pathing again overall. You did go to that Rift Herald. You reset to go top for that Rift Herald. That was sort of at the end of the game, but you just cleared them mid. But still, I like that you were thinking about Rift Herald pathing around the next objective. Alright, so that's going to be it for this review, guys. Let me know, as always, if you have any questions or anything to clear up from this review. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.